If you're on the side of social media that's interested in saving money or living a frugal life, there's a chance that you've heard of extreme couponers. These are the creators who walk out of stores regularly for cartloads of stuff for next to nothing. These creators showcase their stockpiles of stuff in their home or the weekly deals that they go to the stores for. How to stack and combine coupons. While couponing can be a legitimate way to save money, and quite often extreme couponers, they started their couponing journey out of some kind of financial necessity. The extreme version of this does come with some drawbacks. This is especially true as these creators get bigger in social media. They make more money. Making money from being a couponing creator can mean that you have the money and the time to coupon like a hobby or a job. Extreme couponing isn't just about the deals or saving certain kinds of money. Extreme couponers also promote bulk buying more than you could ever use or need. And they often promote stockpiling as the ultimate goal of couponing, with their stockpiles serving as both aspiration and inspiration. In today's video, we're going to talk about various aspects of couponing. We'll talk about the benefits, the drawbacks, and how it promotes overconsumption. We'll also talk about some of the psychological aspects that might be at play that entice people to coupon or potentially overconsume. While some of my videos on this channel are really focused about the negative sides of overconsuming and influencing, some of that will be present in today's video, but couponing and even extreme couponing isn't inherently bad. There are benefits, and couponing does help people and can come from a place of necessity, and teaching people how to coupon, which is ultimately a skill. And I think that can be a great thing to pick up on, even if average people, they don't become extreme couponers, but they learn how to coupon and they can save a little bit more money. That doesn't happen without this kind of influencer. So there are some benefits of couponing influencers, and I think that's a great place to start. Let's start off with some of the benefits. The number one benefit of this kind of content as a viewer is saving money. The caveat here is saving money on things you need and things you use. For households on a tight budget, couponing can help that budget stretch further. It can make a big difference to how much money you have at the end of the month. It just makes sense and might even be a necessity. These influencers can help figuring out how to do that easier and perhaps giving people learning knowledge that they wouldn't have been able to pick up by themselves. But even if couponing is not a necessity, I think a lot of people would benefit or enjoy learning how to save a bit more money. If your goals are saving money for certain kinds of things, couponing can help you get there. Even if you're saving 20% and not the 50, 60, 70% like some of the couponers promote, saving 20% can be a huge deal. According to the USDA, a family of 4 spends about $560 to $1,300 a month on food. How much that is depends on the people in the family, like 4 adults versus 2 adults and 2 young kids, or 2 adults, 1 toddler and 1 teenager. How much people eat factors in, as well as income. So let's just, for the sake of example, say that somebody is spending $600 a month. Saving 20% is $120 or $1,440 a year. Nearly $1,500 a year in savings can go a long way for a lot of families, like mortgage payments, rent, medical expenses or medical bills, car payments. This kind of savings adds up over time and can make a really meaningful impact. I really believe that it's a money saving component that drove a lot of these couponers to start, or why people start couponing in general. But I think the money saving component is why people stay. And this is a component that can become a bit addictive. I think it can be really pleasurable to see that bill just decrease. And we'll talk more about that later. I mentioned this just to highlight that even if financial situations change, the thrill can remain. Couponing can be extra great if there is an impending family change that is anticipated, like retirement, job change, or job loss in specific, or pregnancy. In this comment, this person shared that they stocked up on things before an impending layoff. And if you know that's coming, I think, and you gain this skill of couponing, what can happen, I think, depending on the time frame, let's say you're budgeting as well. You may be able to keep the budget, like your overall monthly spend, about the same, but perhaps allocating more of that total to the food element or like personal care element. And then you can stock up over months at a time. And then you're set for 6 months or a year. You regularly see people sharing their experience of how couponing helped them in a tough time. Couponing as well can help people think more critically about their finances, how and where they are spending money. I think people can become more tuned in to how they're spending money. I think there's a segment of the population out there that just goes to the grocery store, buys their body wash or their deodorant. Maybe they just go for whatever's cheapest. And that's just how they spend their money. And maybe they're not thinking, well, my personal care products represents this portion of my budget, or this is how much I want to spend. Maybe people are tuned out of just how much they're spending, and couponing can help people, can help tune people in, right? Let's say you find a coupon for body wash. You are now tuning in to how much body wash costs, how much it saves you. And that tuning in element can be really helpful potentially. And people might start thinking more about their finances generally and budgeting generally. One of the main arguments for couponing, and one of the arguments that couponers themselves make, is that it helps low-income families or families on tight budgets, right? Like coupons can help stretch the budget farther. So if you have a limited budget for food and personal care, if you're spending less on certain items, let's say soup or pasta or deodorant, body wash, that kind of thing, the overall amount can go farther. Or maybe you're able to buy healthier foods that you wouldn't be able to buy at all or in the quantities that you would like. This is true, and I think that you can become a couponer without creating the stockpiles like you see in these coupon videos. You can take what works for you, leave the rest. But I believe that in order for a person or a family to recreate the stockpiles like we see in these videos, you need to be of a certain income. I say this because one of the most precious resources that couponing takes is time. You need time in order to be able to go to the deal, like the stores, to get the deals in a timely manner, to be able to manage the stock, to be able to track down the coupons. Like there is so much time that is involved with couponing to this degree and creating this kind of stockpile that people of a lower income may not have. Many couponers treat couponing like a job. I'm going to put a comment on the screen right now of a couponing creator saying this exact thing. She says, it's literally my job and it takes a lot of time and effort. This can potentially set some people up for false expectations. Many of the couponers admit and suggest for people to go to multiple stores to shop the deals. If that's how things have to go in order to make the budget work, then you got to do what you got to do. But that also takes time to go to 3 different grocery stores, as an example. Making a plan of action of the coupons that you'll use and what you'll need to get, how to stack and combine coupons, what you're going to get from where, that takes time. The maintenance of the stockpile, putting everything on the shelves and managing the inventory because you are becoming like a store. Things are going to expire, and coupons themselves are time sensitive. Some of the manufacturer coupons you can use for a larger window of time, a month, maybe a few months. But if you want to combine them in the right order, there are many deals that are only usable, or you could only combine things in such a way to get the deals that are being suggested. They usually happen within a week period. So you typically have to go during a specific window of time. There's also deals at Dollar General. That's one of the examples that somebody highlights a lot. They have a specific day of the week, which is Saturday, that you can combine the coupons in a certain way. Couponing is a huge time suck. If you know that going in, and you have enough time, then that's not inherently a problem. But if you don't know what you're getting into and you see these stockpiles and people be like, anybody can do it, that's what I mean by you might be setting yourself up for some false expectations or some false realities. Not to mention that these couponing influencers get paid to make the videos managing their stockpiles or going to CVS or going to Dollar General. That's how they're making their money. They're making their money and their income off couponing. This is their job, their full-time or part-time job. You as an average person don't make money when you go to Walmart or Kroger's or wherever it is that you're shopping and doing your couponing. Not to mention the people who are often doing the influencing are in the middle or upper class income brackets. And they may have time and money resources that lower income people do not. I looked at a couple of surveys to look at who is actually couponing, and the results surprised me a little bit. I'm going to share them with you now. When you look at the people who use coupons, it's not the lowest income individuals or households that use or rely on coupons. The people who use coupons the most are people who tend to be in that middle income range. When asked which of the following best describes your experience with online discount hunter sites, apps like Rakuten, Ibotta, Honey, Retail Me Not, etc., the people who use them and like them the most are the people in the 100K or more income bracket. That's 31%. And a separate study said that households with income over $125,000 are more likely to actively seek out and use discount codes while shopping online compared to households with incomes under six figures. The highest segment of consumers who say they use coupons while online shopping are in the household income bracket of $175,000 to $199,000. They represent about 89% compared to the 53% in the $10,000 to $24,000 income bracket. These are both imperfect, right? Like we're looking at coupon sites and discount codes, and I know Ibotta is maybe like the best example of this because I see the couponers mention them the most. This is not the most well documented area, but these are what the studies that have been conducted suggest. This makes a level of sense because when you look at who is couponing and you look at their backstocks or their stockpiles, this is usually happening in a garage or a spare bedroom of some sort, and you need a certain level of wealth in order to be able to afford a home or rent a home with a garage, because homes with garages are either townhomes or like stacked townhomes or a traditional home, whether it's detached, semi-detached, or like a row house. Those homes cost far more than condos, even for renting. So there's going to be a level of wealth in order to be able to afford homes like that, or to afford homes with extra spaces, bedrooms, or even a basement. I don't think that if I wanted to start couponing right now, that I would have anywhere to put the stuff. We have one closet right there. I don't say this to be an indictment of the couponers themselves, that there's something inherently wrong with being somebody of middle or upper class status in desiring a couponing lifestyle or wanting to coupon. That's not the problem. This becomes a problem when or if we establish these people or these creators as the people we aspire to be. And when we hear them say anybody can do it, and specifically making content targeting lower income folks, we can be setting people up with unfair expectations of what they may be in for, or how easy or difficult it is to do. Couponing is a whole heck of a lot easier when it's your job, when you don't have to go into a 9-to-5 at work, or I say 9-to-5 to mean a traditional job, but if you have a job to go into, let alone multiple jobs, it's easier to coupon. It's easier to go to this multiple stores. It's easier to maintain your stock. Let's now talk about the overconsumption angle now. Extreme couponing can promote overconsumption, especially when people start buying items in bulk just because they're available at a discount, not because they actually need them. While it's beneficial to save money, buying excessive amounts of products can create unnecessary waste. clutter and a false sense of accomplishment, right? I saved money. Additionally, the focus on deals may prioritize quantity over quality or long-term need, which can contribute to unhealthy shopping habits. A hallmark of couponing TikTok is this stockpile. This might be the most controversial element of couponing. If a problem were to exist beyond the false expectations, which may not even be a problem if you are somebody, regardless of your income, who knows what you're getting into, then that's like, all right, not a problem. This is where I think there is a potential for a problem, is setting the stockpile up as the norm and aspiring to create ones as big as these couponers. These stockpiles are called stockpiles for a reason, because people are accumulating so much. They're accumulating far more than their family could often get through. The couponers are often, a lot of the couponers, the clips that we'll see are happening in people's garages, and their garages are becoming de facto stores. Because stockpiles are so normal in the couponing world, they position stockpiling as normal, and arguably the ultimate goal of couponing itself. These couponers, promoting the stockpile as normal, encouraging other people to stockpile, can make people at home feel like this is how you coupon. In order to coupon right, in order to do it right, means to have stockpiles like this, that you gotta have the multiple industrial kind of shelves. I don't know what quite the word you want to use for these. Industrial is probably not right. The word commercial, maybe, like commercial shelves, ones that you'll know the kinds of shelves when you see them. This is how you do it right. This is what couponing is. There's a reason though why people own so much, at least to a degree, because a lot of couponing encourages you to bulk buy in order to get the discount. So people will continue to bulk buy and bulk buy and bulk buy, as well as in the age of digital coupons and cash back, as well as in extra bucks. That's a CVS term, but I feel like you know what I'm saying. In order to do the thing, you've got to combine all these things in these specific ways and buy specific products in order to have the deal. If you are going to be buying your 20th razor in order to get this specific deal, people can say, well, it's worth it. And then you have a razor wall. We're now going to watch a video that features somebody's stockpile, and we're going to eventually, after the video, we're going to do the math on how much laundry products they have.
Couponers able to have these massive stockpiles and make sure absolutely nothing goes to waste. Well, as a couponer who has a massive stockpile and ensures nothing goes to waste, I'm going to tell you, while I put away a week's worth of coupon deals that I have yet to put away. Don't judge me. So the first and probably most important thing I implement in my stockpile is something called FIFO or FIFO. Essentially, it's just an acronym that stands for first in, first out. What this means is my stockpile is organized from the oldest item to the newest item. Take, for example, my lovely shelf of Tide. This is my oldest Tide right there, and at the very back over there, that's my newest Tide. So when I go to the store and get another bottle of Tide, I make sure that it goes at the very back and it gets used the last. And that goes for basically every single item in the stockpile. The newest item is going to be at the very back left, and the oldest is going to be at the front right. And this is what we use first. This is my newest bottle of Tide. It's going to go all the way, oh dear Lord, into the very back to get used when it's time. And that's just for things that don't have expiration dates. Things like toothpaste are a lot easier because they have expiration dates written on the package. So then in my stockpile, I organize all of my toothpaste with the expiration dates facing outwards, with the one that gets used first on the top and the one that gets used last at the bottom. Organizing that way with expiration dates also really helps me keep an eye on them so that they get used or donated before they expire. And same principle also applies if I end up with not enough room on my shelf. So let's say, for example, I just got this new thing of trash bags and I don't have any more room on my shelf to fit it. All I do is I take the oldest trash bag off the top, put it in a donation pile, and then put this guy at the very back. That way my stockpile is constantly circulating fresh items, and I'm making sure that all of these items are getting used before they have the potential to go bad. Organizing like this also helps me keep an eye on what items my family is using a lot of and maybe not so much of. So I know my family doesn't go through mouthwash very quickly, so unless it's free or I'm getting paid, I'm not gonna get it. But we quite literally burn through Dawn and Gain Power Wash like it's going out of style.
So this creator talks about some of their management using FIFO first in, first out when she talks about how she's managing some of her products. We're going to speak more about the potential wastefulness in a little bit, but we're going to do some math first. I told you we were looking out for the laundry detergent, and you saw her in this clip, some of her stock. Let me tell you a bit of what I counted detergent-wise. One of her shelves is half full of Tide bottles. There are 3 rows, and each row is 4 items deep, so we have 12 bottles of Tide there. Beside the Tide half shelf is a full shelf of pods. There are 6 rows in this shelf, and each row has there's 2 stacked on top of each other. And then each row is 2 deep. So there's 12 items in the front, and then there are 12 in the back. So it's 24 boxes of pods. I'm going to have to show you some pictures, I think. There's also some sneaky little extras. All of this together is about 30, we'll call them bottles, even though some of them are pods. Hi, Editing Shauna here. I completely botched the math on this and also found more items in this photo that's on the screen. I counted the 3 green bottles of Gain near the bottom shelf. There also appears to be 4 more Tide pods beside it. And then on top of that shelf, there are more bags of Gain pods. All of this brings the grand total to approximately 50 items. If they went through 1 container of laundry detergent, some of these are small and some of these are big, we're just going to say 1 month per container. Whether or not it's practical, just go with me here. If we were to use 1 container a month, it would take over 4 years to use what they have. 4 years and a couple of months. This is excessive, especially if you keep buying more than you need. And it's one thing for her to do this for herself. It's another thing to encourage other people to do it as well. More on this later. Her and others say that they donate extras that are about to expire. She mentions it in this video, and I'm going to show you another video from her that kind of shows this in action. So she's coming home from the store and she's filling up the shelves, and what she says is, if it doesn't fit, then you know where it goes. It goes in the donation bin. It is excellent that she is donating extra product, and this specific creator we just watched talking about FIFO, she does regularly donate. She has multiple videos of her creating boxes of stuff for neighbors and teachers. Wonderful, will not shit on that at all. But that's not what I want to talk about. The video I just played, there's a donation bin that is, in my opinion, the overflow box for when she has purchased too much. It's the release valve, if you will. It's the way to catch the overshopping or the overbuying. And it's a tool that ultimately lets her consume at the high rates in which she is consuming. It's the couponing equivalent, in my opinion, of the buy and declutter cycle. If you want to continue consuming at such high rates, you will also need the release valve of a sort, or to give stuff away. If she was consuming at a lower rate, I do not believe that the donations would be happening. It is entirely possible for any of these creators to maintain a stockpile without it being shelves and shelves worth of stuff, without it being 3 years of laundry detergent or 2 to 5 years of shampoo and conditioner. It's not this or nothing. I think there are multiple reasons why this buying in excess happens. Number 1 is that she is on top, and many of these creators are on top of their stockpiles. But if you wanted to make sure you weren't buying more than you needed, you would have to check in on your stockpile every week or every time you went out, which is probably exhausting. Number 1, I think in some cases, I'm not saying her or any of these videos that we've watched, I think that there is a pleasure and a thrill potentially involved that keeps people wanting to shop and also feeling like what they're doing is a good thing. I'm going to put some comments on the screen of people talking about how they got into this and they ended up having 3, 4, 5 years worth of products. People who overspent and overshopped, people who might have even been a little bit of addicted. That's an element as well. She is also an influencer. Her job requires her to make couponing content. So if she were to stop showing her stockpile, stop going to the store, stop buying stuff, her content would be non-existent. She wouldn't make money. So in a way, she does need to keep shopping in order to continue making her content. Many couponers share that people complain about their stockpiles and how much they own. People accuse couponers of being selfish, of hoarding. And a lot of people, myself included, have a lot of things to say about the quantity of stuff that they own. The reason for this is because couponers are buying in quantities that are excessive, and they do own things in quantities that are also excessive. They are not necessary. 6 months, even a year's worth of dish soap is one thing, but owning 3 to 5 years of dish soap is another. And as I was mentioning, I want to reiterate here, a lot of the reason why things are being purchased in the excess is because the coupons and the bundling requires it. It's often necessary in order to get the discount that they're looking for. This can lead to buying for the deal and not for the need. The thrill of saving, or the feeling of I must save money at all costs, or I don't want to shop unless I'm getting 60% off or 70% off. All of that can overshadow whether this product is useful, whether you need more of that thing, whether you could use it. And some of this stuff that people are buying is stuff that nobody needs. Like, it's not a need in any capacity, or people don't need more of. One of the items that I see a lot of in these stockpiles are scent beads. Scent beads are always an optional product and not a necessity. They are not a necessity in any laundry routine. Maybe I shouldn't speak in absolutes here. We'll say it's probably not a necessity. If you enjoy them, cool, not a necessity. Arguably, and not everybody is on board with this either, this is highly personal. And when you look at their laundry products, or just traditional laundry products, when we're using soap, laundry detergent, fabric softener, dryer sheets, scent beads, that is a ton of fragrance, and also potentially different fragrances going together. Some people have sensitivity. Some people are just bothered by the overwhelming smell. It's okay if you don't subscribe to these ideas. I myself personally would find all of that scent overwhelming, not just for myself, but also for other people. Like, I hear from a lot of y'all who are sensitive to scents, or you get migraines from scents. I personally don't get migraines usually from scents, but if I'm kind of in the zone for one, I can be sensitive to them, or they can really screw things up for me. It's kind of made me worried for when I get older. I never used to be like this, even when I first started getting migraines about 6 years ago. I have personally made an attempt to have less fragrance in my own laundry care for that reason. Also common are dryer sheets and fabric softener. Both of these items do similar things to our clothes, and the dryer sheets in specific, they put like a film on our clothes to make them appear softer. They are not becoming softer. They are just appearing softer. And this film can build up on your clothes over time to make the fabric less penetrable. So this can affect your fabric and your dryer. They work by putting a film of lipids and fragrance on your garments, which build up over time and can contribute to clothing and towels smelling musty or stale even after they've been washed and dried. This chemical coating can affect the properties of certain fabrics too. For example, it can make towels less absorbent, make your athletic gear less moisture wicking, and reduce the flame resistance of some children's sleepwear. This can also impact your appliances themselves. I personally started noticing this with my workout garments, that they were holding onto scents and smells, and while some of that is the fabric itself, the other part of it was being put in the dryer with dryer sheets. Similar fabrics that never got treated that way are doing far better. This is anecdotal. You can use your own experience, but also this is what the professionals are saying. You know, when you look at some of these videos, people are saying, but are you really saving money if you're buying things you don't really need? Why stockpile that much? You have years worth of product there. Why not just wait until there's space on the shelf before buying more? I don't get why you buy more of something you have plenty of. When you're running low, sure, but otherwise it's just hoarding. It's not people's business what we spend our money on. I agree with some of these comments that it is okay to build a backup or a certain amount, but there is a point where it crosses into excess, and then we promote this excess and shopping in this specific way online that I think can be or have the potential to be highly addictive and highly pleasurable. Not suggesting anybody is addicted that I've mentioned today. I also myself don't want to call this hoarding. I understand that people use it in a colloquial sense to just mean buying a lot of things or acquiring or owning a lot of things. And while people use it in that sense, it is also like a mental health disorder that I don't just want to apply willy-nilly. I'm going to give you my little spiel that how people spend their money and how people consume things stop being private financial choices when they post them online for other people's viewing. The moment you share something online is the moment you have the capacity to influence others. And some of these creators are intentionally trying to influence others. And I think overall, the intention is positive. But this is not how I spend my money is my choice when you are spending your money in a public way and are articulating, arguing, or showcasing habits as desirable, normal, or other people should do it too. There is the capacity of influence here. Let's now talk about the influence on you, the viewer. The first I mentioned, which could be potentially positive or negative, is what I was just highlighting. So that's number one. Number two is I do think that these videos and these influencers have the capacity to encourage overconsumption and buying things that people don't actually need. We have inaction and people with their own words talking about how they buy things that they don't need. We see that visually. People having huge systems and razor walls and buying tons, like buying their 20th shampoo, their 20th conditioner, their 20th razor. We seek those consuming habits in action, and we feel like, or we can feel like, we must also consume like this in order to be a couponer. This is what it looks like to be a couponer, which is not a reality. These creators actively encourage large stockpiling to the point where people aim to stockpile like this creator. They want to stockpile. And there is a clear emphasis on growing the stockpile. That's some people's goals, and these creators even have videos on growing new stockpiles. Here's one of somebody who is just starting out in couponing, and they documented the growth of their stockpile. My personal belief is that this desire to create and grow a stockpile came from the couponing influencing world. I want to play you a really quick TikTok or a portion of a TikTok of somebody telling folks to go out and buy stuff.
I tell you, we have an epic run deal at Lowe's. You need to grab your keys and your sneakers and jump in your car and head to a local Lowe's. Because Lowe's right now is having unmarked clearance on Downy Unstoppables as well as Gain fireworks. Store that I went to was not marked, but as you can see, there's a difference in the top of the caps as well as the sizing. We're looking for the 26.5 ounce, and here's what the barcode looks like. And again, the one we're looking for is the 26.5 ounce. And you can tell the difference between the caps. The ones that we're looking for have a taller cap, and they're the 26.5 ounce.
You do not need to go anywhere because there is a sale on product. If you do not need these, you do not need to go to Lowe's. I don't think in the majority of cases that deals are things we need to run for. This is the kind of language that I heard all the time in the beauty community. When I was deep in there, go run, you gotta go get it now. This is different than somebody showcasing a deal. Here's the deal of the week, or here's how you combine coupons. We'll watch one of those videos in a little bit. There's some truly amazing work being done by some of these creators. It's incredible the kinds of savings they're able to find, but that is different than run to go get this. This is shopping content. This is what this is. And the focus on savings can absolutely distract from the shopping. In some cases, there are people spending $0, which is incredible. But there are people who are spending $5, $10, $20, $30, $100. But if you're spending money on stuff you didn't need, it literally does not matter if you're saving money if you never needed it. If you have 3 years worth of toilet paper and soap, you don't need more stuff because you're going to get 50% off. Spending money is not saving money. Here's some stats for you. 38% of shoppers decided to buy a product sooner than they planned if they had a coupon. 67% of shoppers made a purchase they initially didn't intend to make because of a coupon. Coupons do get people to buy more. You can coupon without stockpiling 5 years of soap or 3 years of detergent. That is entirely possible. And also, by the way, I find it somewhat disingenuous for these creators to complain about people commenting on their consuming habits when they use their consuming habits to draw people into their content. They know that they are shopping in an excessive way or a way that's perhaps not traditional or normal. And their videos that show the most maybe like untraditional or when they show things in great excess, their restock videos or their tours of their stockpiles, those tend to be the highest view counts for these creators. They put their stockpiles in the thumbnails and those videos get the highest clicks. They're using it to their advantage to get people in because it is excess. You know what I'm saying? They know. And I think that these videos can encourage people to shop with the regular posting of deals and hauls. And that can go the other way though. There are some channels that showcase deal stacking, coupon stacking, as well as like deals of the week. And they'll show you how to get the deals, the kinds of things you need to put in your cart. This can be wonderful if you are looking for the deals. I'm going to play you this video now of this person who spends $0 at CVS. I'm not going to play you the whole thing because after a few minutes you kind of get the gist of what's going on, but there are multiple transactions, like upwards of 4. Let me play it for you now.
I invited my daughter couponing and she said yes, so I'm super excited, but she said she would come with me under one condition. What condition is that?
I have no money.
So let's see what magic we can make happen. CVS with $0. Our goal for today is to spend $25 worth of beauty and personal care products because they have an automatic $10 off coupon. Every CVS account will have this coupon that says when you spend $25, you'll get $10 off. So we want to make sure that that coupon is clipped. First deal we're going to start off with is the Axe. They're priced at $6.29. When we buy one, we get one for 50% off. And when you buy 2, you'll get 3 extra bucks. Next, we are grabbing these 2 Crest mouthwash that are priced at $4.99 each. And when we buy 2, we'll receive 5 extra bucks. And there's a $3 off coupon on the CVS app. Our last item to complete the $25, we're gonna grab one of these Skintimates. They are priced $6.99. My store is not tagged, but they're $6.99. All of the items that we are taking that equals, so that's $26.40. Means we have met the $25 threshold. So when we go to checkout, we are going to get those $10 off for that spend $25, get $10 off coupon. But we also have additional coupons that we're going to stack on top of this. For CVS app, you clip this $3 off for the Crest, $7.50 off for the Axe. For the Skintimate, we're using this 3 off CRT, which not all accounts will have this coupon, but check to see if you have it available. And then we're using the second 3 off Schick. All of those coupons add up to $26.50, and register, we should pay nothing. So let's go find out if it works. When I go to checkout, I make sure to scan all of my items first. And after I have scanned everything, then I use the barcode on my CVS app or enter my phone number so that all the coupons will come off. So scan all of your items first. Scan your barcode. Finish and pay. Continue because we're not using any extra bucks.
Scan coupon now. Touch the continue button if finished. Scan coupon now.
$0.
If finished.
What do you think?
Amazing.
So go ahead and press continue. Now go ahead and print. We should get back 5 extra bucks for the Crest and 3 extra bucks for the Axe. 3 and there's the 5. So now with those extra bucks that you just earned, 8, we're gonna go shop for our second transaction. Your transaction 2, we're gonna grab one of these Venus Gillette, either Tropical or the Sensitive. They're priced at $6.99, and when you buy one, you'll get 3 extra bucks, and we have a $3 off coupon on the app. So go ahead and choose one. Scan the Venus to make sure that there's a coupon attaching as well. And there it is. We have the $3 off coupon, and it's also been clipped. Grabbing 2 Colgate, they're priced at $3.99 this week. Buy 2, get 3 extra bucks. Have a 4 off coupon on the CVS app. So these are all of our items that equal $7.98, and let's go to checkout. On your barcode, you're gonna select a 5 and a 3, and your total should be $0. $0. $0. Still get 6 extra bucks.
So she does this a few more times, and on the last the last transaction, there's $1.50 left and she needs to find something of $1.50 value in order to get the transaction for free. She picks up a random eyeliner and they get the transaction. Sorry, I just like stubbed my finger and it started bleeding. What this video shows, I think, is that couponing is a real skill and also that it can take time. Obviously, you could do this quicker if you gathered all of your things and did the coupon thing back to back instead of transaction 1, go buy more things, transaction 2. But also she had to go hunt and look for these deals. One thing that this video and others highlight is shopping is a central component of couponing culture, or couponing TikTok, I should say, or couponing Instagram, couponing social media. You're shopping a lot, you're shopping weekly, but also it's the promotion of shopping. That makes a certain level of sense because we're trying to save people money by combining certain things, but that I think can distract from the shopping that's going on and the pleasures of shopping that are going on. And that some of this, like some of what we're seeing and the pleasures of shopping and the hauling are present in other niches that people go, oh wow, that's overconsumption or that's a problem. You know, to get to some of the psychology that might be at play, the dopamine rush of getting the deal and seeing the transaction, that number dwindle and go down, 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 in this case to 0, but in some cases it's not as extreme. Saving money can trigger the reward system in our brain. This can make couponing highly pleasurable and for some addictive. Just like people can get addicted to shopping as a hobby, people can get addicted to the pleasures associated with couponing. It's still an element of shopping, but it's like a particular way of shopping. The difference, I think, with couponing versus shopping for almost anything else is that couponing gets wrapped in this wrapper, if you will, of goodness. I'm doing something good for my family. I'm doing something good for me. I'm saving myself money. And that is different than going to the Sephora sale and getting 20% off. These are people who are regularly buying things that could be essentials, like razors or body wash or soup. The saving money isn't really saving when you're spending money spiel can go out the window real quick when you see your $160 grocery bill go down to $20. This is the element that I think can keep people engaged in the content and why I think it may appeal to some shoppers and some viewers, because there is still shopping content involved in this and hauling content. This can also appeal to FOMO and urgency. FOMO, fear of missing out. I think that can be a huge part of the shopping culture or why people may coupon. It's because many of the deals are limited time only. Even when you're looking at like the CVS deals that we were looking at, many of those change every week. So you have to go within that 1 week window in order to get that deal. And so you could say, well, if I don't go, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss the deal. And people buy things that they might not need because of the feeling of the FOMO. I'm not going to save money, or a deal like this isn't going to happen again. Or what if it's a few more months down the line and I actually need the product? Some of that might be happening, but also some of that general urgency to buy now can be at play. People can easily fall into the trap of spending money on things they don't need because they fear that they're not going to get the same deal next week. And in addition, if you're following these couponers, they'll post the daily deals or the weekly deals and the combinations. It can be coming at you on a daily, if not weekly basis of deal, run to Lowe's, go here. This is the deal of the week. You got to go on Saturday only. It can keep the FOMO and the urgency in your mind as a consumer. So I want to conclude now with an influencer or a couponer who's going to be talking about some of these traps and how she kind of fell into some of them. And I think it's best to hear from somebody within the space. So let's watch.
Don't coupon for things that you would never buy, you would never use, you wouldn't give to someone if you were only getting it because it's on a deal, it's on a coupon. You're literally falling for it. You're falling for it. I promise you these merchants don't give a rip on whether or not you save money. They don't care. If they really cared, they would lower the price of their stuff and not give you the same freaking coupon on toothpaste every week. My whole point is these retailers know what they're doing. They're trying to get you back into their store so that you buy their crap with their company cash that is tricking you into thinking that it's real hard cash. But at the end of the day, you can't pay your rent with the Walgreens reward. Oh my gosh, I feel crazy right now. I've fallen victim to a good deal, and I don't want you to fall victim to a good deal. Just because it's on a good deal doesn't mean you have to buy it. You don't have to buy it, guys. Buy stuff that you use, that your family uses, stuff that you want to give away. If you plan to like resell or donate stuff, like sure, whatever, buy the stuff you don't use. That's fine if you plan to give it away. But like if you're balling on a budget and you don't have money to like use for stuff like that, then don't do it. Just pass. There's gonna be a good deal. There's gonna be more. And so often you can end up getting the same thing at stinking Walmart or Costco for cheaper anyway. Not all the time. There are like, I know that there are couponing deals that you can blow Walmart, Costco out of the water with, but not always. So just be cautious, have discernment with a deal. Like if you have to buy 5 things to get your one thing cheaper, it's not worth it. Just pass. There's going to be another deal, I promise. Okay, Marianne's done. Happy couponing.
She's speaking from experience, and she raises some points. Don't buy things that you wouldn't use or that you don't need. If your shelves are full, you don't need more. And she is right that sometimes some of these deals are not as good as just buying from Walmart or buying from like whatever your cheapest grocery store is that may or may not be Walmart or Costco. Because one thing I've seen a lot of these influencers buy, or these couponers, are razors. And what they are often buying are not the razor refill cartridges, but the razor, like, you know, when you buy the brand new razor and it has the razor, like the holder, and you get one blade, maybe an extra attached, they're buying a ton of those. If you were to price out, let's say a safety razor, the cost of a cheap safety razor, about $20, you can get the refills for like 10 cents each, and those refills can last you so long. I believe a safety razor with the refills will cost you less over, let's say, a 1 or 2 year period. I also think that the deal component can be so strong for some folks, they just will not think else like otherwise. And if you don't got the money to shop elsewhere or in other manners, this section is not for you. You do what you got to do. Buying these razors is treating them in a disposable manner. You don't need to buy like literally 40 new razors, not the blades, but razors. You don't need 40 of them. We could buy one, and we can buy the replacement blades, or do the safety razor thing. I'm sure that's not going to work for everybody, and even to contemplate that is a place of privilege. I 100% get that. But what I'm trying to illustrate, even in a small way, is that sometimes couponing is not providing you the deal that you might expect, or is not perhaps the best option, and the full price product may be better than your deal with the coupon. There may be things that are cheaper in the long run, or they might be the same amount. If you want a coupon or continue couponing, go for it. Don't let me talk you out of it. I just hope that you can be strategic about what you buy, and you also don't need to stockpile years worth of stuff in order to coupon at all. So to close out this video, I'd like to ask you, have you ever couponed in this way, like in the kind of extreme coupon way? But after watching this video, I hope you know what I mean when I say extreme couponing. Have you ever tried it? What has your experience been? I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I would love it if you would subscribe to catch more content like this, and I hope to see you again around here soon.